morning still. At least it is morning still.
It is. It's a morning of Zooms for everybody today. I feel like I've been on Zoom since 8:30 a.m. this morning, but it's good. It's good. I love helping people, so we're okay.
No, and for me, I just got a new phone and it seems to drop everybody. But I'm like, but I talk all the time. I don't have any problems. And I realize, oh wait, I talk to everybody on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not having any problems on Zoom. But and I don't even know what happened. I don't know. It's a new phone. I'm on wireless. I don't know why I'm having such problems.
Speaking of new phones, iOS 14 did an update last night. So when I share my screen in a couple of seconds, you're going to see some things that look a little different. I'm very excited. There's a lot of stuff in iOS 14 I really love, but maybe I'll post some stuff about that later on in the week. But I'm still learning.
I have me set up for auto updates or not. Would it tell me if I did an update?
Mm-hmm. It's a lot. There's a lot. We need to do a whole thing on it. So I'm so excited. Maybe I'll show you some stuff while I'm in there. But that's not why we're here today. We're here to talk about the Remax app, right?
Yes, the consumer app. So do you want me to go ahead and share your screen?
Sure. Yeah. Let's jump right in, I guess.
We're going to do two different ways here. We have the consumer aspect of using the app.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have kind of how to promote the app. So get a twofer today. So I'm going to go ahead.
There we go. Okay, so this is, I'm in iOS 14. So if this looks a little strange, this is an iPhone device. And for all the techies out there, I'm using a brand new piece of software that I just got that's called Reflector so that I can put my iPhone up on the screen. Totally love it. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in and out so that you see what you see here. But we're going to go, I have all of my work stuff saved in one spot. We're going to go right into the Remax app. We're looking at this as a consumer would look at it. And I think it's worth it to look at. See, it's already, my little dot is moving. It's finding me. So it can find all the properties. It's a real estate app, but it does a ton of stuff that I wanted to point out here as a consumer. Good morning. That immediately you can see right on my screen that I've got this little red heart that's right on the screen there. I've favorited some properties as a consumer, and I'll show you how to do that. But because I'm located right at my house, the little dot, I can see as I move around, the map updates and will show me the properties. That's like a basic real estate app, right? But let's say there's this neighborhood right south of me. So I want to draw a line. I tap on that little draw. Whoops. And then let me get rid of that. I just want that neighborhood. So I'm going to tap on draw, and then I'm going to draw a circle around just this neighborhood so I get only those houses. And now that changes my results. So we've got the ability to draw right on the Remax app.
And it's super easy to draw because I noticed I went to go do it and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was almost too easy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, I really want to see those houses. I'm going to tap on list down at the bottom, and I can scroll through all the houses there. And maybe there's one I like. You can see there's two that I already favorited because those hearts are filled in. Right. But in here too, I have the ability at the top to sort, of course, and I can filter. This is basic search stuff that everybody's got. But what not everybody's got, and one of the things I really like about this, if we go to menu here, is that it's branded. So this app, and Heather's going to show you in a couple seconds how to promote your branded app. But this is branded. I actually used a branded app to one of the agents in our office, Keith. So I am attached to Keith, and your information as the agent is always there. So if I tap on info, there's all of his information. It even gives me his active properties, right? So about him, his specialties, his phone numbers are all right there because, again, this app has been branded to him. He is my preferred buyer agent.
And does this information pull from another thing that pulls from the Max Center profile?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, it does. And then there's my information. So there's Tavia Ritter right there, and I can tap on that and change my phone numbers, add any information. Check that out. Add co-buyer. So if I wanted to add my husband, I could add him to this so that, as a consumer, say we're both shopping for homes, I could add him and then he gets to see what I see. Oh my God. That's phenomenal. I tell
you that when we moved, we used Redfin. Mm-hmm. For that exact reason. So when I saw that this was going to be a capability, I was blown away because that was such an awesome feature to be able, because I didn't, it's like when you're shopping with a spouse, it's so not fun. But it was nice to see when we would finally agree on a house. So that I was super excited about that we had that feature in here.
The ability, yeah. And then the other thing I really like in this is my places. So I've put in my office as one of my places and my school so that I can see that it's marked on a map how close it is to where I'm searching. So I can just do that by clicking on place and then whatever the place is like, and set the drive, like it's all how many days of the week, like look at that. So if I wanted, if it was a church or if it was your office or if it was your spouse's office, your grandparents, your parents, whatever it is, you throw that in here and that can be saved as to your places.
And that's, for me, that I never had used that feature until I moved and I knew where my husband was going to be working and I knew where, UT was for Hunter going to school. So I put in both of those because I needed, like, I didn't care where we lived because I didn't know the area. I just knew I wanted to be within 30 minutes of both of those. So I was able to add those in. So this, to me, it didn't seem that important when I was just moving locally because I knew the area, but it was super important
when you're relocating. Sure.
I didn't know the area. I didn't care. I mean, one city didn't matter to another because I had no idea. I just knew where we needed to be and how far I wanted to be from that.
Which is awesome. And then notification, this again, guys, this is all a consumer-based style. And I think it's really important that these tools that we're giving out to our clients, that we know how they work, because ultimately they're going to come to you and say, hey, how does this work? And what does this mean? So that's kind of why we're going through all this stuff. Favorites. And by the way, so I did go in there and I saved my favorites. So as a consumer, I'm going in there, oh, there's my favorite properties. Clearly, some of these are well out of my price range, but nonetheless, they're favorites. Like, look at that 1.7 million. Sure. I'm hanging. But like on the property itself, like it's a nice little scroll. I can go through the properties. If I tap on the photo, I can go right to all the property information, see the virtual tour, all the information about it, all of it right there. Look at that. Beautiful. See, wouldn't you love to live there? I'm getting a little sidetracked, but look at that view.
No. Oh my God.
It's ridiculous. But let's say, you know what, this is well out of my price range. I really don't want to keep it. So I can mark that little, if I tap this icon, the little eye next to it, now it'll be a hidden property. Like, are you sure you want to hide it? So life goals for sure, a $1.7 million house, but like, it's not in my world. So I want to hide it. I could say, do I want to hide it? It'll be taken off of my favorites and put in my, I did something wrong. So there too, we have hidden. So all the properties that are hidden, I don't have any hidden right now. The saved searches. So I have a saved search in Sinking Spring, which is where I live, and I can go into that and see all the results to that search right away. There is a notification on there too. I don't know if you saw that in the notifications. I will get an alert every time something matches my search right there. As a consumer, I can set that up, right? So we've got all that. And then recently viewed is another great one for the consumers. Like I go in there, there it is. What did I recently look at? That $1.7 million listing. So that's all this stuff is in here for the consumer, but it's also, I can go in at any time and say about Keith Malone and scroll down as a consumer. I can contact him, all the stuff that I put as a favorite. He's like, I was telling Heather right before we started, like Keith was like, were you playing in the app earlier this week? Because I'm getting, like, he's getting all of these emails that I'm doing stuff. He's like, are you planning on moving? Is there something I need to know? Like, no, I'm just testing around. And I do it to him because he's on our leadership team. So I don't want to, make one of our agents crazy.
I would always recommend my agents, basically go to their website, put in their cell phone number so that they can see on both sides, the alerts side and on the consumer side. So I would tell an agent, you need to go onto your website, put in your cell phone number so you get that link to download the app branded to you. And that way you can play and see what it's like for both sides, on the consumer side, what it's like to search, how you can play with that, but also what kind of notifications are you going to get on the agent side? Because I think knowing both sides is only going to help if, who are they going to come to if they have a problem or need anything, and you should really
know how it works, just the basics of it too. And this, I wanted to kind of cover this too. Now, there are some people who get a little weird about this, but this is a consumer-based app. This is an app for consumers. So let's say that I'm going in here and I see Keith Malone. Actually, let's go. Where did I just pull that up? Tavia Ritter. So into the consumer account, down at the bottom, there's a section here that says Keith, and I can remove him. As a consumer, let's say Heather's my agent, but I had Keith in the system, but I haven't really worked with Keith for a long time, and I want to now work with Heather. I can do that as a consumer by just tapping that little remove, and it says preferred buyer agent PBA. Gang, there is a ton of videos on Remax University that talk about what a PBA is. And maybe we can, Heather, can we link to that now with the new Remax University thing? I know we can send stuff to agents, but like if we find one about lead flow, can we put a link to that from Remax University in the comments?
Yeah, you can absolutely put a link in there. Anywhere they have to log into Max Center to be able to view it.
Okay, good. Yeah. But the PBA specifically, your preferred buyer agent has different visibility to leads. So like when I'm searching, Keith gets to see it, but if somebody else has me in their contact database, they don't get the same stuff that Keith would get as my preferred buyer agent. That's important. I also wanted to look at properties themselves because I think there's a ton of info here on the property that maybe you're not aware of when you're looking at it in an app. When you scroll down and through it, you see the location, the description that comes right from the MLS, the details. Because I have the app, any notes, this little note here that I would make, and if I'm adding a note, my agent gets to see that I added a note about the property. So that's another notification that you want to understand. Well, why are they making this note? Why am I getting this? So maybe you're adding a note. Can we go ahead and add this as a favorite property? Look, it's being intuitive. So I don't want to do that right now. My sponsoring office is always going to be the office where my preferred buyer agent is. And then there's a mortgage calculator on here that I can customize. The schools that are closest to the property, the weather, the days of sunshine, that's important. Average temperatures, comparable listings are right here. They're coming up on the map. They even show here's the listings that are close. And then disclaimers here. So all of this is available on just about every property. I think the ones that are in, I've seen ones that are close, like in more metro areas, even have a walk score on them. So like, but it doesn't, we're kind of rural here. We're not going to have walk scores. It's not going to matter. We can't walk anywhere. So again, just kind of going over all this, that's the list. And then the live version here, you're going to see my keyboard. We're not close enough to anywhere. So you see here on the app, it says scope search, you're currently no results. We're a little bit more rural and inventory is kind of sad at the moment. So there's nothing that's close enough to me right now to show up in that virtual search. But let's find me nearby. See, here I am. That's actually pretty far away, that listing that's down there. But if I was standing right in front of it, I could pull up that live search, tap on the listing, and then pull up all the information on the listing, just like you saw.
And it's ridiculous. Like when I'm taking the dogs for a walk and I see a new for sale,
to pull it up.
That's exactly what I do. So that because it's super easy. I'm right there. It's that whole live picture. I can click on it and then I get all this information right here. So for me, or if we're just kind of driving by and I see something, I can quickly just put open my app and boom, the house is right there. I get all the information. So that's, for me, that's most of the time it was always when I was walking the dog, nosy neighbor, but I have the tools to be the nosy neighbor and get the scoop and, know what's going on. So that is a really fun feature. And I don't know that anybody else has that AR technology.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great?
I'm waiting for a Pokemon to pop up or something.
We're not going to that app right now. Yeah, no.
Maybe we could get a Bitmoji that looks like an agent with a, I don't know, something, buy me or something like that. That would be fun.
Yeah. So the other thing to show you how they would, now you're going to go through the process, but when you're on that link that you're going to share, so let's do buy with Keith, and you're going to talk about all of this, buywithkeith.com, and it's /mobile. I'm typing, so I'm not mobile-apps. So, and it's pretty much, and you'll talk about all of this too, but this is the screen that you're going to see. I just wanted to show it to you live, that I'm going to throw my phone number in here and then text myself. So I'll get a message just so you can see this process live, like what your consumer would see. And then in the text messages, which we're going to see in just a second, I'm a little scared to go to my messages now. I don't know what's going to be in there. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, hopefully I've got another one in there. Oh, and that messaging thing, look how awesome that is, guys. This is with iOS 14. I now have that's the messages I want at the top, these little bubbles. Oh my God. I'm so in
Oh,
love
are
with
the
iOS.
people that you
Yep,
message all
they're
the
called
time?
Yep, they're called pinned messages. How awesome is that? So there's that text that just came through. So these pinned messages, that's my family up at the top. And then I can go into, but here's this message that I just got. I know I sidetracked for a second, but here's this sidetrack that I just got that it says, here's Keith D. Malone's branded app. You can see that right there. And if I link to that, that will go right to the app store. Now you can see begin home search today by downloading the Remax app. That was an unbranded version. Like I went to the company and typed in mobile dash apps, and clearly that's still saved. But you can see, like, if it's Heather Holliday's search or Tavia Ritter's search or Keith Malone's search or whoever it may be,
And the
your
good thing
name will be
about
in
this,
there.
it'll open whichever, whether it be Google Play, the Apple
Yep.
Store, it'll kind of open in wherever they need it to be.
Yep. Open. So now it opened. I already have the app, so I didn't have to. My preferred agent is set. He's already set as my preferred buyer agent. Are you sure you want to change? Yeah, well, it's already him, so we're good. Ta-da. See that? Start your home search, and then I'm in the app. Love it, love it, love it. So, I mean, that doesn't take a long time to go through the app, but those are the things I wanted to cover. Hold on, let me make sure how to download it, how to search it. And if you guys want to download it on your own, definitely go to your personal branded app site. Cancel. Let's go back to that. Where was that? Get the search app. So you're going to want to look at something like this, like your site, and download your app so that you get the communication, right, Heather?
Right. Because it's so important to know. I mean, you want to promote this because you want to bring people to you. It makes it, we have to think about consumers. I know when I do any stats on analytics on website, I mean,
It's
85
mobile.
plus percent is all mobile. So we need to think about the consumers. You have a website, you have an app. We need to promote that. So I guess, does that bring it all over to me? That's on
I think it does. Yeah.
yeah.
Now this is different. Like just so you like, this is your site, and you can look at listings on the site, but it's not the same as an app. It's just not the same experience.
Right. And I mean, for me, I'm always, when I do a search, whether it be with the bad guys, whatever it is, it's all, for me, it's always,
Bad guys.
Carrie. So basically, this is Be Nice. This is my broker. And she's been on Zoom all day too.
Yeah.
So
But the
you
nice,
go
yeah,
to your website.
And it does move over. So like down here on the website, this is one of the things that's really awesome about having these interconnected platforms is that if I'm on his site as a consumer, I can say register or sign in, and then everything I've saved as a favorite on the app will translate over to the website.
Okay.
That's so important. So like if I were to sign in with my username and password, or Facebook because I signed up that way, which most people are doing now because it's easy, I don't want to put anything in, that any favorites that I saved would still be in there. So if I'm on my phone versus on a desktop, all the same stuff applies. All the favorites are still there, all the hiddens are still there, etc. So better explain how to download my personally branded site. So that I think you're going to get into on your slides, right?
Yep. Just
Okay,
basically
cool.
doing the same thing that we just went over. So are we ready to switch over?
Yes, go. Have at it.
Awesome. All right. So this is the first thing for helping you promote, is knowing where to get your branded link. And that is, so yours would be carrieramage.com/mobile apps. If we've set up the DNS, because I think you had it forwarded at one point, which that would be totally different. Then it would be carrieramage.remax.com/mobile apps. You need to know which one, whether it be you have your DNS settings, you have a custom domain. That's when you're going to be using your domain.com if you have the DNS settings. Otherwise, it's going to be your username.remax.com/mobile apps. It is also in your menu bar. So it should be super easy. Go to your site, go to the menu, go down. Usually, I think it's under buyer side, or it's going to say mobile apps. Click there. You're going to get this little bar to put in your text, your cell phone number. Then you're going to receive, and I'll go to the next slide here. Then you're going to get that text that Tavia just showed us, because she just went through this process. So you're going to, where did I go? Let's see. What happened here? It went to too many slides here. So what it's going to do is you're going to go there. You're going to put in your cell phone number. You're going to get this sample message. I personally take that URL, and it's important for that URL only because it's going to take them, it depends on which device they have. Do they have an Apple? Do they have an Android? so I take that link, I go into the Remax URL shortener, I paste that, and now I have my own Remax URL shortener. Makes it a lot easier for me. I save this in my notes on my phone. So as I'm talking with somebody, have a new prospect, whatever, I mean, I can add this and just text that over to somebody. That's really going to take them to this link. It
saves them a step. We all like steps being saved. Like it saves that, because the other way you had to put in your phone number and then get the text and then click on the link. And Heather, that's brilliant. Just, yeah, quick, easy, send them that thing.
Your notes, it's basically, because that to me just looks weird. So it would be more to me is just, hey, check out my new mobile app. There, now I have the link. It's basically the same thing as this, but I use the Remax URL shortener. And then I just have my own message, save it in your notes on your phone, makes it super easy to be able to easily send that out to somebody. Make sure it's in your email signature. So this here, I use Wisestamp. So you can add all these different, different banners, different graphics, whatever. Or if you just have basic, maybe a logo and your name and information, link it. I personally like that URL shortener because of the tracking, and it makes it easy for me to remember because, I'm old, my brain doesn't remember things, and I just use that Remax URL shortener for everything because it just makes my life easier. But make sure your email signature, basically the same thing you're going to do. Your signature, your marketing is going to have your website. It'll have your phone number. It has your email. You need to make sure it has your mobile app link, whether you use like a hyperlink, which is text, which is like a call to action. It's just a hyperlink with my own text, or we have what we had on the last slide, which is download my app, and you could use the Remax URL shortener to make it fun and unique, something to you. But make sure that you have this in your email signature. It's probably one of the easier steps that you could do, but you need to make sure that you're promoting your app. If you don't know where to find it, how would a consumer? And we want to make sure that they're connected, and you need to provide that consumer experience, with searching for property so that they don't go to other sites.
Lee doesn't walk away, right? Yeah, you
right.
want it.
And also I put this on I use that featured full length. Because with one of the updates, they kind of took that call to action block with the app on it. So I had to create my own. So what I did is I kind of took bits and pieces from what was there and made my own full length app. Featured full length is the block that I use on your booj websites. And then you could add a logo here if you want to. You could add the balloon if you want to. Then I just download my app, and basically where that's linking is to that mobile apps page on your website where they can enter your text. You could have it linked straight over to, that Remax URL shortener. I personally like them seeing the mobile apps page so that they can really get a sneak peek into the consumer experience and why they would want to download it. It kind of is not necessarily a tutorial, but it shows them the benefits of having the app on their phone. So
yeah, I have that shared. The whole page. Is this that goes right to the mobile page that's already created, right? Everybody's got that page.
Right. I mean, you could have it go straight to the app store, but I do like that page because there's a lot of great content on there and why you would do that. And also if you have a newsletter, I don't care where you're sending it from, you need to have a link just like on your email signature, just like you're going to have your website. Mm-hmm. You may have a link to get their home value. Just think of that should be part of your template in any marketing that you're doing. You have your website, all your information. You need to make sure that your mobile app's on there.
It's a call to action. It's a really good call to action. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Another way to kind of get a little more creative is QR codes. They're so stupid simple anymore. I mean, I remember, I don't even
when they first came out
5 years ago, and you had to I remember at R4 and someone had a shirt or a necklace with this ginormous QR code, but you had to what QR code reader am I downloading? And then I think Microsoft had their own triangle lines. And then so it was this battle of these different QR codes. And I think because of that, it kind of went away. But now if you take your phone into camera and you just basically hover over this, you could do that right now. it's going to take you to wherever you want. So for me, like on this, so your marketing, your flyers, all this kind of stuff, this is, you could add this to your flyer. Yes. So this goes to the app that I just created for the purpose of this. I personally like Linktree because it's what we use like on Instagram, and I can put in a ton of links. So if you are using something like Linktree because you're active on Instagram, I like the fact I can still post blogs or articles and it'll be, my link is, linked to properties and bio. So for this one here, there's like my website, my blog, my app, download my app. And then it has, the different property listings, which go to the listing property on her website. Yes. So isn't that awesome? So
that's great.
The QR code, all of your flyers for any of your flyers that are going to be at any of the properties, make sure it's on any postcards, any marketing snail mail that you're sending out. You could put it on a sign writer. You could make even stickers. You could use like shipping label stickers. They make them where they're kind of like a waterproof. You could make one for each property, or download my app, or view this property on my site. Think outside the box, because you could just slap it on the sign.
It's and then drive by and take a picture.
And then you could change it with the next property. And there's so many different QR codes and actually, if it's just if Design Center creates QR codes for your listings for that property website, which we're going to go over next week with the whole Design Center and some of the stuff that people don't know. So this is just a couple different ways that you could be using to promote your app, your website, and all that kind of stuff.
Which is all about lead generation and calls to action and getting all that information about what your clients are doing. So that's the game, right? That's what we're trying to get done here.
Yeah, we need to be able to meet the consumers where they're at,
which is here.
Pretty much. Your entire computer's in here. We just need to make it super easy for them to find us and use the tools that we already have. I think that was my last slide. It was just a couple, but I'm like a visual. I was going to talk about all this, and I'm like, I need visuals for this.
I have the mobile page up if you want to share that again, so we can see it. They can see what it is. So this is, everybody has this. If you have published your booj site, let me preface that. If you have
that publish button.
Yeah, you have to hit that publish button, but then everybody has in their menu by default, if you haven't tweaked it, because you can, but if you haven't tweaked it, you have a mobile app in your navigation, a mobile app link, which, believe it or not, is mobile.app. Like that's the mobile-apps. That's the thing that Heather was just talking about. But you can link to it, and it really just covers everything. I should have used this as my outline. You can search for properties, save searches, favorite, hide, and share. So I could share it, text it to people. As a consumer, this is a consumer facing page. Put in drive time, draw search radius, that augmented. This is what it would look like if I had homes that were close enough. There would be like, I'd be showing it, I'd be pointing my phone at the house, and then it would pop up and I'd be able to tap on it and get all of that information.
She'll totally be with me wanting a Pokemon to be popping up.
Yeah. And then syncing, and we talked about this too. Cool. I'm making sure I hit all my points here, that it syncs between the website and the app seamlessly. So if I'm on my phone and I save a favorite, then I go to my computer and log in. All the notes that I make on those properties are saved there. Any favorites, anything that's hidden, it's all right there for me. And then I can receive real-time updates. We talked about that too in the notifications. If you're watching this after the fact, in the very beginning of the video, we talked about notifications, that we can know when properties hit the site, and getting to know the community. That's all there too. Like all of this, the walkability, again, I don't have that because you can't walk anywhere. Like, I'm too far out removed. But bikeability, drivability, all those scores are right there. The schools in the area, we talked about that too. But all that stuff that's on the mobile app, that is also on the website. Everything, it's so nice to finally have something that really works together, because for a really long time we didn't.
Right.
That's nice.
And one thing I do want to mention, because I have worked on a couple sites where their mobile apps and the navigation, like they may have been playing with their site and moved that over. And because it's like a link that was pre-created, if you drag that over to the non-active side, it disappears. But just know, all you have to do to make that go back on your website is go to your website, go to navigation, add link. You're going to add that link, the username.com /mobile-apps. And now that'll go to that created page again. So it's not like you have to recreate a page. You're not doing anything wrong. It is something that's not editable. It is just a link that's provided by Remax for us. But I have seen a couple sites where, they might have been playing and had no idea, and they, were dragging stuff over. And because that's a link, when you take an active link and move it to the non-active, it disappears. It goes away. It's like it's non-existent anymore. Unlike a page, you can, drag a page to non-active.
So there's what it is. So mobile, I just want to make it really big because I can't zoom in on that. So let's make that really, really big so people can see what that is. There it is. So it would be like, this is a domain. So this, instead of being user.remax.com, this is a vanity URL here. So that's what we're talking about. .com/mobile-apps.
Yes.
That's what you're talking. So that if you want to make that on the navigation bar and it's not there and you accidentally dragged it off, this is what you would put there. Of course, you would replace, I'm sure Keith would love it if you put buywithkeith.com, but like, don't do that. Use your own domain or your own username.
So whatever your username is, and you'll know what your website is once you go to your website. It tells you what it is. So basically, you're just going to, go copy that, go into, and that's just, very rarely have I seen that, but I have seen.
It's a good call.
Where people were in there playing, and that's what we do. We play, and I just, you can't really break anything. I'll say that lightly, but.
You can't bring anything we can't fix, right? Yeah.
Right. But this is totally fixable. So if for some reason you do not have that in your menu bar and you go into your nav and it's not there anywhere, this is how you would manually add it back in there if you played or anything like that. Because I just worked on one that it was, oh my goodness, I have no idea what everything was crazy.
So those are the two, like it's either domain or it's username.remax.com, right? Am I getting those right?
Yeah, it would only be yourdomain.com if you have successfully set up your DNS servers. If you have it forwarded, it would still.
You say that 5 times fast. Successfully set up your DNS servers.
So you need to make sure yourdomain.com is actually what shows up on your website. And that would be you could forward, you're still going to see the username.remax.com show up. That would be different. You wouldn't be able to use your domain only if the DNS servers are set up. And of course, you can always ask a question in the group. We're happy to explain that further. Or even do a whole class on that, but I don't know. That's all itself. Unless, I don't know. GoDaddy's the only one I could easily.
Yeah, GoDaddy's like I've done it. I did it at register.com and GoDaddy.com, but like I don't want to do it again.
No, I just had to do one last night and it didn't work. And I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Call support. I don't know.
So that is create menu item. I had the screen up, so I thought, why not share it, right?
Oh, that's awesome. Perfect.
So in here, like I want to back up here. Like what we're talking about is if you have accidentally removed this page from your navigation, right? If this mobile app if you don't see it anywhere because you were playing around, you accidentally dragged it out of where it should be, over here on the right, you can add stuff here. So you would click on create menu item and then you would type in whatever this is. Hold on, copy, paste, but it's your username.remax.com or your domain.com, and then add a link and it will go right into there.
So on Melanie's questions, it's kind of like a twofer. So on the page itself, if I have my own domain, I have no problem sharing my domain.com /mobile-apps because it's really promoting my website as well. If what I do use that URL shortener for is when you text yourself the link to the App Store from the page that she's on right now, that is the one that I take into let me show this real quick. So this is where I take when I put in my phone number, I get this text. I take that URL into the Remax URL shortener and make that one my link. But other than that, to get to the main page that has all that information, I personally like using my domain because it's promoting my website. I want that to be a visual. So they get the full page, but if it's just, I use the URL shortener for that actually weird link to the app store with my branded app to it. Hopefully that made sense.
I get it. I speak fluent Heather. I get it. Really good. So it would be that long, messy, gross thing that, hold on, I think I actually have it. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. This is the messy thing. So this, it'll look like, so instead of it looking like this, guys, like, see that? That's icky. I don't like that. I want it to have
to the actual app store with my branded app.
Yeah. So like this is once I go through, if I put my number in here and I get a text, this gross looking thing is what I click on to go into the app store. So you would take this shortened URL, save it so that you can text it to somebody, but you're going to shorten the URL like Heather had, H3 mobile app. Is that what you had?
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is. And then you click on create. Now, once you create things, you can't delete them here, which is annoying, but whatever. So you click on create, and then in here, personal URL for branded app, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can edit it so that it's not weird here. So my mobile app, and then it's super easy to remember. I'm just going to 3. So then it's rem.ax/my mobile app, or whatever you call it that's not already used by somebody else. So it's there, and then you can track. So anything that like this, if people have clicked on something, you'd be able to see what the breakdown is on that shortened URL. So we're getting like a twofer. We're doing the mobile app.
I like seeing where people are coming from. So if I, send out a postcard, or if I'm putting that link on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, any of those places, I'm going to know which platform that URL is giving me the best results. Where are people looking and actually clicking on, maybe a listing or whatever it is. I love the tracking for that purposes so that I know which platform's working best for me. Maybe where should I be promoting my listings more or whatever it is. But I love the tracking, and you'll see most are going to be from their mobile device, which is why it's so crucial to make sure that things are mobile friendly.
Look at that. That's exciting. Property access form. I'm sorry, I squirreled there. I was clicking through all
It's so easy. Yeah, I get it. It's all good.
Yeah, okay. Like, wait, what?
Oh, I'm a geek, so I like geek out on all this stuff. I'm sure my agents are like, oh my God, she's posting all this crap that I don't care about, but I'm like, cost per, pay per click and this and that. And I geek out.
Yeah, I would say even like reeling it in, like even just like as a synopsis to say, I think it's important that you understand the app if you're going to share it with your customer, that you understand how to download it, that you understand how to share it out. I love the idea of making URL shortener to make it easy for yourself, but being able to capture that information
in your notes makes it super easy to text anybody.
It's great. And then you have the option too of being able to track it. So like, how often is it being used? Because is there an ROI on the fact that I've gone through all of this and I'm doing it with the URL shortener? Yeah, there is, because you can see people clicking on it. So I think that's really cool too. And it's shorter. So I love it. I love all of it.
How often you may be out with friends and family. Well, I guess not a whole bunch right now, but in normal times, you're at football practice or a football game or whatever, you're out and about. Somebody starts talking about real estate and the thought of moving. How easy would it be? You go to your notes, you copy that. Oh, I have an app. Go ahead and use it. It's great. Yep. It even has all these cool features. Show them it because it's on your phone already attached to you and you know how to use it. So you can show them how awesome the app is. You text it to them. Now they're attached to you and they're searching for homes and you can see what's going on. It's super easy. It's like a no-brainer.
And then they're in your CRM, and then you can send them newsletters, and then you can send them campaigns once that's live, and then and then. So it's just the first step to all of it, because you don't want them using that other brand that I'm not going to say out loud because I don't want to warrant the justification for it. But like those other apps that are out there and those other things, have them use your brand. You have this giant gorilla in the room. We've talked about that, the 800-pound gorilla. Use the balloon, man. Like, absolutely. There's no reason not to. Love it. Absolutely.
No, I agree 100%. So of course, if anyone has any questions on the app, I want you to, basically I want to have homework is I want you to go to your website, click that publish button if you haven't, even if you're not using it, just so that you have that mobile apps page. I want you to put in your cell phone number so that you can click on that link. I want you to do that Remax URL shortener, make it something unique to you. You're going to save that little message, and this is in here so you can always go back. You can stop it. What did Heather write? I don't care. Make it your own. Make it unique to you. That's your vibe. Then I want you to put that in your notes because I want you to make sure that you can be able to create this. So, I mean, it's really only 3 steps. Make sure it's published. It should already be. Put your cell phone number in, and then make sure you copy that link URL shortener so that, and play.
I'm guessing that people who got into real estate like real estate. Go figure. So, like, don't you want to look at the homes that are for sale? Don't you want to be the nosy neighbor and like look at the pictures inside the house? Like, we all love doing that, or we wouldn't be in this business for real.
Yeah, and then if you're out walking the dog and someone puts a for sale or whatever, and they're like, "What are you doing with your phone?" It's like, "Oh my God, check out my app. I'm just having so much fun." There you go, conversation starter.
Love it. Use cases, lots of use cases. I hope somebody gets some business off of this. Like a month from now, if they get a piece of business, come back and comment, say, "Hey, Heather and Tavia, guess what? I was walking the dog and got a sale."
I definitely want to hear about that. And then, all right, so next week, we'll be going over a little bit of the QR codes. We have me, you, Anna, going over like our favorite secrets on Design Center. There are so many goodies because, I mean, Design Center, we could probably do like 5-hour-long classes, but I love that we're just kind of taking our quick, like top maybe 3, whatever favorites that we use Design Center the most for. So I'm excited because I know like Anna does the QR code. She puts in her
She's all over it, man. I can't wait. I'm going to learn so much.
Yeah. So I'm super excited for next week. And then October, so far, we have the amazing Kayla Roof with Remax LLC redoing her Instagram class from BOC. We have Sue Pinky Benson. We're going to be talking all about video. So we have some great classes coming up next month as well. But that's awesome. So, of course, if you have any questions, comment. We'll get back to you. Thank you all for watching so much.
Have a great day.